I was hiding in the closet. I know. Pathetic, right? But when you've spent 6 years married to someone who starts locking her phone, comes home late smelling like cologne that isn't yours, and suddenly starts wearing lace sets to girl nights, you stop caring about dignity. You want truth. And tonight, I got it. The moment the front door slammed shut, I was already in position, wedged between coats, holding my breath, praying I was wrong. Then I heard her heels. Her laugh. A man's voice. God, you look insane in that dress, he said. She giggled. That giggle I used to think was sweet. Now it made my skin crawl. And then, like fate just decided to rip my heart clean out, she said it. He doesn't even touch me anymore. I'm not attracted to him. I never really was. She laughed again. My wife. Madison. My world. Laughing at me with another man in our living room. I only married him because he was stable. Predictable. I needed someone boring to ground me, she continued. Every word was a knife, slow and twisted. Jason? He's like a human spreadsheet. And he fumbles in bed like a lost boy. He laughed. Then silence. Then that sound. That disgusting rhythm. On my couch. And I just stood there in the dark, shaking. Rage. Humiliation. Betrayal. I should have walked out. Should have burst in. But I stayed. Because something inside me snapped. And from that second on, I wasn't the same man she married. By the time they were done, she passed out drunk on the couch, half naked. I walked out from the closet silently. Stood over her. Stared at the woman I gave my life to, while she snored in another man's sweat. Then I did something I never thought I could. I vanished. No note. No goodbye. Just my wedding ring placed gently on the table, next to her empty wine glass. And that was just the beginning. I drove for hours that night. No destination. Just open roads and a mind spinning so violently I could barely keep the wheel steady. Every mile between me and that house felt like a layer of skin peeling off. What the hell had I just heard? She wasn't attracted to me. Never was. She used me. The words kept replaying, like a broken record with razor-sharp edges. My face was hot, my eyes dry. I wanted to cry, but something darker took over, colder. I think it was survival. Maybe vengeance. Maybe both. Around 3 a.m., I pulled into a motel off the interstate. Paid cash. Didn't give my real name. I sat on the bed staring at the ceiling fan. It wobbled and clicked, like it was about to fly off. Just like my whole damn life. Sleep never came. Instead, I opened my phone. I had screenshots, conversations, clues I ignored for too long. Like the text I once saw pop up on her phone. Last night was insane. I can't stop thinking about you. She said it was from her friend Julia. She even laughed and said, girls joke like that. I was stupid enough to believe her. Or the time I came home early and found her sitting in the kitchen in just her robe, flushed, hair a mess. She claimed she was taking a self-care afternoon. There was a man's sock, a man's black Nike sock, under the kitchen table. I held it up, and she actually had the audacity to say, "That's yours, babe." It wasn't. I don't even wear Nikes. Now all the pieces fit. I wasn't crazy. I was just married to a damn good liar. The next morning, I messaged my boss and told him I needed emergency leave. No details. Just family emergency. He didn't ask. Then I blocked her. On everything. Phone. Email. Social. Like she never existed. I knew what I had to do next. Clean exit. No drama. Let her wake up hungover in that house and realize she pushed the one man who actually gave a damn straight out of her life. I contacted a lawyer. Told him. She cheated. I want a clean divorce. Fast. I'm not touching that house again. She can have it. He asked for evidence. I sent him the audio recording. I had left my phone on record in my jacket pocket while I was in the closet. Her entire confession, caught. The lawyer said, "This will speed things up." I said, "Good. I'm done being the nice guy." 2 days later, I was living in my buddy Connor's guest room. He didn't ask questions, just handed me a beer and said, "Take your time." By day 4, the call started. Unknown number. Voicemail 1. "Jason, where are you? What the hell is this? Your stuff's gone? Are you okay?" Voicemail 2. "Okay, this isn't funny. I'm freaking out. Please just come home." Voicemail 3. "You're being childish. At least talk to me like an adult." Voicemail 4. "You seriously block me everywhere? Wow. After everything I gave up for you." I didn't listen to any more. She wasn't calling because she missed me. She was calling because she realized she lost her punching bag. Her emotional punching bag. Her financial security blanket. She realized her secret wasn't secret anymore. That terrified her more than losing me ever would. And for the first time in years, I felt powerful. Not because I yelled. I didn't. Not because I ruined her life. I wouldn't need to. But because I walked away while she slept, drooling on a pillow she used to cry into after fake arguments to avoid touching me. She doesn't know I know everything. Yet. But soon she will. I waited 6 more days before making any contact. Not with her. With her sister, Lauren. Lauren always had a weird energy around me. Like she knew something but never said it. We weren't close, but we weren't enemies either. I figured if anyone had the guts to be honest, it'd be her. I called from a new number. She answered after 2 rings. Hello. It's Jason. There was a pause, then a quiet, almost nervous, oh. I need to ask you something. And I need the truth. She sighed. You finally left her? She told another man she was never attracted to me. While she was drunk. I was in the closet. Oh my God, she whispered. You heard it. Every word. And more. Silence again. I pushed. How long has it been going on? She won't admit it, she finally said. But I know about Derek. It's been at least 8 months. Maybe more. 8 months. My whole body went cold. Lauren continued, almost like she needed to purge it. I saw them together once. He picked her up in a Range Rover, like he owned her. She said it was her trainer or some crap. That word stuck in my throat. Trainer. That's what Madison told me too. That she was working out more to feel confident again. Turns out, she wasn't doing squats for me. Then Lauren added something that chilled me deeper than anything yet. Jason, I think he's married too. His wife called the house, once asking for her. Everything stopped. This woman, this manipulative, smug, lying woman, wasn't just cheating on me. She was part of an entire web of deception, a double affair. Thank you, I said. Don't tell her you talked to me. Lauren agreed. That night, I printed out everything. Photos, messages, audio transcripts, even credit card statements showing gifts I never received, dinners I never ate. I put it all in a clean manila envelope, and I sent it to Madison's office, addressed directly to her. 2 days later, she showed up at Connor's. I don't know how she found me, but she was standing on the porch in ripped jeans and a face full of mascara, holding the envelope. You coward, she screamed. Connor opened the door, looked at me, and said, Want me to call the cops? I shook my head. I got it. I stepped outside. Madison looked at me like I was the one who cheated. You blindsided me, she hissed. You just disappeared like some drama queen. What kind of man just vanishes like that? I laughed. Actually laughed. The kind of man who listened to his wife moaning under another man, in his own damn house. She blinked. That was the moment it sank in. I really knew. She tried to play it off. I was drunk. I didn't mean it. No. Drunk words are sober thoughts, remember? You said it yourself once. She looked down, then up again with that venom in her eyes. So what now? You gonna ruin me? I don't need to ruin you, Madison. You already did that to yourself. She stepped closer. You were never enough for me. You think being stable and nice was enough? You bored me to death. I leaned in just slightly and said, Then I'm glad I left before I died of shame. She slapped me. Connor stepped out the door, now holding his phone. You done? He asked her. She didn't say a word, just turned around, muttering something under her breath, and walked away. That was the last time I saw her in person. But the fallout had just begun. The divorce moved fast, faster than I expected. My lawyer was ruthless, clinical, and exactly what I needed. Once he saw the evidence, he knew how to play it. The audio recording alone could have been a courtroom nuke, but we didn't even need to use it. Madison's lawyer called mine on a Wednesday and asked if there was room for negotiation. That meant one thing. She was panicking. Good. Let her sweat. Let her realize the safety net she used to climb over me was gone. She got the house. I didn't care. That place felt haunted now anyway. I took the savings, my car, and every shred of my dignity that she couldn't kill. What she didn't know was that I'd already backed up everything important, accounts, documents, even the dog's medical records. She could keep the furniture. I was keeping my peace. One night, about a week after the papers were signed, I got a message from a number I didn't recognize. It was Derek's wife. She kept it short. I know everything. Thank you. I stared at it for a long time. Thought about replying. Didn't. Let her burn that bridge on her own. I already had too many fires to put out in my own life. The weirdest part? Madison never truly apologized. Not once. No message saying she was sorry. No, I messed up. Not even a half-assed. I didn't mean for it to happen. Just silence. Like I'd been erased. And maybe that was her version of guilt. Or maybe she was just that cold. But here's where things took a turn. A month after everything ended, I ran into someone unexpected at a local bookstore. A woman named Vanessa. She used to work with me years ago, back before I met Madison. We were friends, maybe even almost something more back then. But life had other plans. She looked at me, tilted her head, and said, "Jason? Damn, you look free." I laughed, genuinely for once. We sat down for coffee, talked for hours. No pressure, no weight. Just two people connecting like adults. Like equals. And it hit me. This was what Madison never gave me. Not even once. Respect. Real conversation. A sense that I mattered as more than a paycheck and a fallback plan. Vanessa didn't ask about Madison until much later that night. "What happened?" she asked softly. I looked out the window and said, "She told another man she was never attracted to me," while I was hiding in the closet. Listening. Vanessa's lips parted in shock. She didn't gasp. Didn't try to comfort me with some hallmark line. She just reached over, touched my hand, and said, "Damn, I'm glad you got out." And I was. That night, I went home and did something I hadn't done in months. I slept. Deeply. No dreams. No tossing. Just silence. A beautiful, final kind of silence. The kind that follows a storm. And in that quiet, I made a promise to myself. No more begging to be chosen. No more sacrificing my soul to be enough for someone who was never worth the cost. And never again will I ignore my gut when something feels off. Because the truth? I didn't lose her. She lost me. A few weeks passed. Life didn't go back to normal, because there was no normal to return to. But it started to feel cleaner. Like the poison had been drained. I still woke up some mornings expecting to hear her fake sweet voice from the kitchen, humming like she used to when she needed something. But it was gone. All of it. The pretending. The manipulation. The emptiness I used to mistake for peace. One afternoon, I got a message from her again. New number. "You left me like a ghost. After everything. You didn't even fight for us." I stared at it. Laughed out loud. Fight? For what? For someone who let another man use our bed while I worked late nights to pay for her perfect little lie? I typed, then deleted. Then typed again. I didn't fight because there was nothing worth saving. Sent. She replied, "You'll regret this when the newness wears off. You're not built for being alone." I didn't respond. Just blocked her again. The same woman who once begged me to build her a life had now reduced our entire marriage to a warning label. Later that week, I ran into her brother, Tyler, at a gym downtown. We hadn't seen each other since before the split. I figured he'd ignore me. Or worse, blame me. But instead, he walked straight up and said, "Dude, I don't know how you lasted that long." I blinked. "What?" "She's always been like that," he said. "Uses people, then dumps them the second they stop dancing. She used to pretend she loved me." I said quietly. "She pretends with everyone," he said. "I'm her brother. I've seen her do it since high school." Then he added, almost as an afterthought, "You deserved better." It stunned me how much that mattered. Coming from him. From someone who actually knew the woman behind the performance. That night, I sat in my car for a long time before going home. I wasn't sad. Not anymore. I was angry. Not at her. At me. For missing the signs. For letting her twist me into a version of myself I barely recognized. For accepting less, day after day, because I didn't want to admit I'd made the biggest mistake of my life. Madison was never a wife. She was a project I thought I could fix. A puzzle I kept trying to solve, not realizing the missing piece was intentional. And I was just a placeholder. A safe landing strip until her next thrill showed up. The closure came unexpectedly. I got a letter in the mail. Handwritten. No return address. It was from her. "Jason, I hate that you left like that. But I know I deserved it. I was selfish. I thought I could juggle two lives and not lose anything. Turns out I lost the only person who ever actually gave a damn. I hope she treats you better than I ever could. You were a good man. I wasn't a good woman." Madison. It didn't make me cry. It didn't make me miss her. It just made me feel finished. I burned it. Not out of hate. Out of closure. She got to speak. And now I never had to hear her again. And somewhere, someone will fall for her smile. Her games. Her scripts. But not me. Not ever again. A month later, I moved into a small apartment on the edge of town. Nothing fancy. Just clean walls, my own furniture, and no lingering perfume soaked into the curtains. Every creak of the floorboard was mine. Every decision, paint color, mug placement, what music played in the morning, was mine. And that silence I used to dread when she left the house. Now it felt like oxygen. One evening, I found myself standing in front of the mirror, shirtless, brushing my teeth. I caught a glimpse of the man staring back. The bags under his eyes were gone. His shoulders sat differently, looser, not slumped. His face was tired, but it wasn't hollow anymore. That was the night I realized I had come back to myself. I had buried him, the real me, somewhere between her fake apologies and my desperate attempts to be enough. And now, I was starting to remember who I actually was before she rewired my self-worth. Vanessa and I stayed in touch. Nothing serious, no pressure. Just coffee, the occasional walk, texts that made me smile without any hidden obligation. She never pried, never asked for explanations. She just saw me. Not the version Madison tried to rewrite, but me. And somehow that was enough. A few weeks later, I got a call from Madison's mother. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. She didn't sound angry. She sounded exhausted. "Jason, I just wanted to say, I know you probably don't want to hear from anyone on our side, but I need you to know, I'm sorry. For everything she put you through." That stunned me. She continued, "You were good to her. Better than she ever deserved." And I told her that. I didn't say much. Just listened. She didn't cry, didn't beg. Just said what needed to be said and hung up. I stared at my phone afterward, wondering if Madison was spiraling. A week later, I got confirmation. Lauren messaged me again. "You won't believe it. Derek's wife left him. Took the kids. He's broke. Madison got dumped. And guess who tried texting me last night?" I didn't even need to ask. "She's unraveling," Lauren added. "She said you were the only man who never used her. She just didn't realize it until it was too late." I didn't reply right away, because none of that mattered anymore. She could cry. She could regret. She could drown in the emptiness she created for herself. But I'd stopped bleeding a long time ago. I turned off my phone and walked outside. It was raining, light, soft. The kind that doesn't chill you. The kind that washes things clean. And I just stood there, letting it fall. Quiet. Still. Because for the first time in years, I didn't need anything from anyone. Not approval. Not revenge. Not even an apology. I was free. A few months later, I was sitting on a bench in the park, sipping a cheap coffee, watching a father push his laughing daughter on a swing. There was something about that moment, so simple, so untouched, that made me reflect on everything I'd crawled through to get here. If you had told me a year ago that I'd be smiling again without her, I would have laughed in your face. Back then, I thought Madison was my world. I thought the little crumbs of attention she threw me were love. I mistook her moods for depth, her insults for honesty, her betrayal for my own failure. But now I know better. She didn't destroy me. She revealed me. She peeled away the part of me that lived for approval, for peacekeeping, for making excuses for someone who never deserved to be defended. And when she slurred those words, "I was never attracted to you," she actually gave me a gift. Brutal, yes, but honest. She gave me truth. It took losing everything to realize I had nothing with her. No partnership, no intimacy, just a transaction dressed up as a marriage. I was the deposit. She was the withdrawal. I don't hate her anymore. That would give her too much space in my life. I feel nothing. And that's the power she'll never reclaim. The last I heard, she moved out of the house. Sold it. Rumors say she's living in a condo downtown, alone. Derek's gone. No friends left. People like her burn bridges faster than they build them. As for me, I started painting again. Something I stopped doing after we got married because she said it was a waste of time. I sold my first piece last week to a local gallery. It wasn't much, but it felt like reclaiming oxygen I forgot I could breathe. Vanessa's still in my life. We're not rushing. No labels. Just two people who've seen hell and want peace more than passion. And you know what? That's enough. That's more than enough. To the man reading this, maybe sitting in the dark like I once was, wondering if he's crazy, if he's not enough, if he deserves what's happening to him. Let me tell you something. You are not crazy. You are not weak. You are not broken. You're just with someone who makes you feel that way. Leave. Even if it hurts. Even if your hands shake. Even if your voice cracks when you tell her you're done. Leave. Because peace is better than pretending. Because truth is better than torture. And because no one who truly loves you would ever make you feel like you were just the safe choice. Walk away. And don't look back. Let her wonder. Let her regret. But most of all, let yourself heal. Because one day, you'll wake up, take a breath, and realize she didn't break you. She freed you.